one of them you should already know. But if you don't know, we got Chris Jeebus and another new special guest, Dr. Dunlap. Woo! Dude, I'm very excited. For one, not only do we got Chris Jeebus, one of my favorite artists, but we also got, Dr. Dunlap. He's a tattoo artist. Just a tattoo artist, a businessman, and that's about it.
Entrepreneur, business owner, and artist. I like to do way more mediums of art than just tattoos.
Okay, yeah, sweet. And I hope you don't mind. Usually for everybody's first time on the pod, I definitely likes to take it back to the origins. Marcus, like how did you start in art?
A whole life, I didn't pay attention in school.
Yeah. That's how it starts.
Everybody else was filling out the answers on the test, and I was scribbling in the corner, sketching out.
Dude, I swear that's how you get the best projects. Every time I was in school, like they would be like, "Here, study or read." I would either go to sleep or draw.
Yep. You remember the S? Everybody that drew the 6 lines.
Yep.
The famous S there.
Yep.
I must have drew that on every homework assignment from 1st grade to 8th grade, man.
Yeah.
I usually get in trouble because I try to, whenever we get the bubble tests, I would be trying to make like pixelated pictures out of the bubbles and shit. Like, if I didn't know the answers, I'm not even trying. We're just going to do something pretty here.
Yeah, bro. I always used to do like a snake or a letter or like a word. Oh my God.
Yo.
You ever get like a halfway decent grade just for the art that you put in your homework assignment? Listen, you failed the test, but those sketches, I'll give you a D-. Yeah. Not bad, kid. Not bad.
Yeah, no, I definitely used to. My teachers always used to be like, "You got talent, but don't matter if you got talent if you don't got brains behind it."
Yeah, with the multiplication, you fucked.
Yeah.
but the art though.
Yeah, I know, dude. And Marcus, like how did it start? Like, was it pencil and paper? Was it like painting on the walls? What? Like when you really got into like art.
Painting, man, definitely like the acrylics and the oil. Something about just the blending kind of brings out that whole imagination. With pencil, ballpoint, that's cool. It's traditional, it's easy, but nothing gets your groove more than painting. And then, of course, now with a needle and ink, that's my most creative moment.
Okay. And was it like self-taught or like did you have somebody teaching you along the way?
Pretty much all self-taught, just kind of picking up things along the way.
Okay. Oh, sweet. And like how long were you at it until like the tattooing came along?
I tried tattooing for a while, couldn't really get the hang of it, and I think I just didn't have my artistic flow going, and then I kind of dropped off of tattooing, and then I went to painting. I was spray painting, I was doing murals, I was doing all kinds of crazy stuff. And
yeah, he was out in Florida really young, like living on the beach, getting by doing spray painting, and that's really kind of what owned like a lot of his artistic drive and stuff right there.
Yeah.
Were you doing it like in public or like in front of your house or?
Everything. I actually rented out booths and flea markets.
Oh, okay.
And I was spray painting in front of thousands of people. And I didn't know if I was just so in the groove or I was just inhaling too much of the paint. But I felt it, man. I felt it. And I had some tattoo shops in Florida kind of scout me out from that.
Oh, okay.
And then I got a job. And then, the talent didn't just come naturally with tattooing. So I kept painting. I would get a tattoo job, got fired, go to the next shop, kept painting. And then everything that I was able to do with those paints, I soon figured out how to do with a needle.
Oh, okay.
And then I realized that not a lot of people could do that. Most tattoo artists weren't painters before they were artists. They were tattoo artists. So I had like an instant advantage. And then everybody knew me as a color artist. Even though I actually prefer tattooing black and gray a little bit more. Painting black and gray is boring. Nobody likes that,
Okay, yeah.
When you're spray painting, when you're acrylic, Black and gray is just not where it's at, man. You want those color pops. And tattooing's the same way. Okay. It's a lot easier to do just black and gray, packing-wise, supply-wise, just your overall process. You got to pack less,
Yeah.
But color, man, it's just that's where it's at, and it all originates from that painting aspect.
And it's crazy because I did try the tattooing for a bit. It's crazy that you said painting was actually the one helping you. I would imagine. Sorry, I had to burp. But I would imagine like the pencil and paper would help more because it's more of a fine point and stuff, like a needle.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's interesting. That was your take, and that's how you got better, and like how.
I think that's one of the things a lot of people don't think about that he does with tattooing. When I see like a lot of artists that are like more strictly tattoo artists, a lot of them do start like more pen and pencil, but it's like as they develop, they tend to stick to more grays and black tones. Like when you see he's developed like certain ways to make neon pop that really makes it stand out different from a lot of people, and I think that's why is because like his color theory was different right from the jump, as to where a lot of traditional artists already start out in the tattoo concept.
Yeah. Yeah. Ooh. And like was like is color easy to you, if that makes sense? Like to get it,
like visualize it.
Yeah. Because me, man, bro, like I can outline anything, right? But like when it comes to color, I feel like I'm stuck.
Yeah.
Because I feel like I want it to look natural or good, and like I don't know, like everybody has a different color perspective in a way.
It's like a different visual. You have to imagine not only your structure, your foundation. You have to try to imagine doing like an outline, and it's not just outline this in black and then pick what color you're going to put in there. You got to think about all the steps beforehand, because if you're doing like a color flare or even like a skin flare, a 3D effect, you have to imagine that before you do the outline, because you can't have that line
Cut into color. It.
Yeah.
So you have to think 20 times more when you're doing color than black and gray. Black and gray is all about the contrast and the volumes and the overall shade concept and what you're trying to have more depth and whatnot. Color, you have to do all that plus all the other steps.
Yeah.
So it really sets the artist apart. And a lot of artists try to specialize in certain things, and we're sitting next to one of the best artists that I know, and I've put him to the test personally, and he tests me every time. A true artist has no limitations. A true artist doesn't focus on what he's best at. A true artist simply finds the best in all of his creations. Whether that's this, or this, Black and gray is awesome. It's great. I love doing black and gray. But why would you limit to just black and gray?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. I thought like, shit you not, man, like trying to find my way in the artistry. I thought if you weren't good at one thing, you can't really call yourself an artist, But as I developed, I'm trying to get into everything, bro. Not just pen and paper, painting canvas. Like I'm trying to sculpt. I'm trying to create.
I think it's one of the areas like where him and I obviously linked. I think it was one of the reasons why you and I grew so well. Like I grew up my whole life being told by art teachers and stuff like that. Like I had to pick one. I wasn't allowed to be good at everything. I had to pick one and stick to just the one. I couldn't do everything, and I never liked that concept. So I've always went outside the box. I sculpt as well. We both paint, we both draw.
Yeah.
So I think that's part of the thing that kind of makes us like-minded. In the fact we don't want to be stuck in one box and be okay, well, I'm just a pencil artist, or I'm just a painter, or I'm just a sculptor. Like, no, I'm a creator. I'm an all-around artist on all of the things that I do. Like my art comes with every aspect of my life, not just this picture I'm drawing right here.
Yeah. I definitely want to give a shout out to everybody that commented, Ricky and Rico Littleman. Hey, you can come down.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know why. Yeah.
Hello.
How you doing?
Hey, how's it going?
My
I was waiting
girlfriend.
for like a pause. I was like,
We heard you squeaking up there.
yeah.
Yeah, my girlfriend just went into Vibes. 10:15 Broadway, guys. Definitely check them out. I wanted to bring it back, bro. So that's crazy that you did a little tattooing, stopped, went back to painting. Why did you stop?
Man, I moved to Florida. I was working in Rockford actually at a factory, and
Okay.
I was gonna work there at gun night. kind of when I first met Chris. And I was going to save up enough money, and I wanted to be a tattoo artist someday. And I worked at Gunite. I saved up all that money, and I moved to Florida.
And why Florida, if you don't mind me asking?
I was dating a girl at the time, and that's where she wanted to go. So we Googled Florida.
Yeah.
And we stayed at a hotel room. It was a wild story, man. All true story. And we stayed at a Motel 6 in the middle of Florida, and we're like, no plans, nowhere to go. I just got some money in the bank, and I want to be a tattoo artist. So what do? You know, you're from this area. So I went to the Motel 6, and I'm like, hey, we need a week's, worth of rent here. We got to stay here for a while till we find a place. So I'm on Craigslist looking for a house. And I go to all the tattoo shops in Cocoa Beach. And I'm like head full of steam. Like I got my little portfolio.
Yeah.
And man, every single shop was like, get the hell out.
Really?
Not even get the hell out. Get the fuck out. Like,
now, may I ask, like, the shops you were going to, were they the ones that had like signs like we're hiring, we're looking, or were you just like?
well, back then, I guess people weren't hurting for employees like they are now. Like now you go anywhere, everybody's hiring. Even places that are fully booked out and staffed out, they're hiring. If anybody says they're not hiring, they're lying.
Yeah.
Everybody's looking for that right employee or that right coworker right now. But back then it wasn't like that, and there was a lot less shops too. And I never could get a job. So here I am. I moved to Florida. I found a little house on Craigslist, and my whole point of leaving and just up and moving to Florida was to be a tattoo artist. And I'm 3 days in. I went to every shop on the coast of Florida in that little part there, and I couldn't get a job. And I'm like, shit. I just left my job, left my friends, left my family, want to be a tattoo artist, and they're like, no, kid, get the hell out. So I went to painting. I'm like, you know what? Maybe I don't have it down yet. Maybe I gotta get better. So I just tried to get my talent up. And then I figured maybe I can get a job from there. And that's exactly what happened. I got one job, and they're like, you're not what we're looking for. I went through probably 7 shops before I found one that would just kind of be patient with me until I got the hang of it.
Okay. Yeah, that's what's up, man. For real, like dude, I would feel devastated. Like, damn, bro, I just did all this. And like,
moving across the country, man.
Bro.
I'm talking on Craigslist, like, where am I, for one? They didn't have Google Maps back then. There was Facebook wasn't that popular. There was like no Instagram. This is back in the day. So
MySpace.
You had to like use your resource. I'm looking in the newspaper. We haven't seen one of them in years.
Yeah, no.
I'm in the Florida, classifieds trying to find tattoo shop job offers, man, and it was just wild. But I don't think I'd take it back. That was key to the ambition that you can carry forever, because you remember what it's like.
Yeah.
You remember how hard it was to try to be what you wanted to be, and then when you achieve that, it's sweet, man.
Well, I think it takes a lot too. For a lot of people wouldn't leave, even when they make an attempt to do something new. They don't leave their home to do it. They always keep that as a safety net. So it takes a lot to go all the way out, middle of nowhere, don't know nobody. You know what I'm saying, and try to start.
Gotta risk it for the biscuit, man.
Hey, yeah, dude. I mean, don't get me wrong, guys. I've definitely like risked stuff like this art shit. Like, once I got let go from my previous job, I started to do my art thing. But I never like left. I always stayed here at like my house, my parents' house, So like, even though I don't got no money, I still have a place, because my parents are, taking care of me. So, respects for that, bro. Because, bro, I think I would have been in a corner, a bus stop, like.
Dude, I was like hands in the air after like I don't know. I think it was like shop number 13. I think they were like the rudest to me. Like I came in there and, your traditional aspects, I had my right hand empty, and my left hand had my portfolio. That way, you can shake your business hand. I asked for the manager right away, I dressed up, had like a nice shirt, like we used to do at interviews, Now I interview people and they're in Crocs and pajama pants. I'm like, so you can't wait to work, huh? You're hired. And man, it was just different. And after that shot, dude, they grabbed my portfolio, and I remember like it was yesterday, and they like shuffled the pages, like ripping them, just disrespectful. And he said like, well, what do you want from us? You can't beat any of my guys. And I'm like, 18-year-old Marcus is like, what does that
even mean?
What does that mean? I'm not trying to beat anybody. I just want a chance,
Yeah.
And dude, they like slammed the door on me, and I'm like a grown man. Like, I'm in Florida. I moved. I've been a factory worker for a year. I've already been through college. Like, I was ready to set this new career, and they like slammed the door on me, and I'm like emotional.
Yeah, no,
I'm
bro,
like,
trust me, I bet, bro.
like head down, like, dude, maybe this was a really dumb move. And I'm so glad that I didn't just say that was a bad choice. Let me get back home. Let me go back to Illinois. Because I sat there and I fought it out. And it was one of the hardest fights I've ever been in. And you never know if that's going to work out or not.
Yeah.
Like, there's beauty in letting things go. Because if it's hurting you so much, it might be the better move to let it go. That's one of those where I didn't know if it would have been smarter to just find something else. Maybe that wasn't my thing. And I'm just wasting all this time, all this money, all this effort, and wasting my youth trying to be something that I'm not.
Yeah.
And if I would have stopped that, none of this would have been possible, man. But you don't know that in the moment. In that moment, you're just teeter-tottering from like, is this a bad choice? Is it not? And I fight that every day with multiple battles because you've been through those hard wars where you're like, am I fighting for the right thing? And that was one thing that I can't believe I came out victorious. Because at the time, it seemed impossible.
Yeah.
These guys are slamming their door in my face and telling me, like the craziest stuff. Like, dude, my 3-year-old could tattoo better than that, And you're like, fuck, can they? What kind of 3-year-old do they got? And you're like, shit, man.
Well, that's no farther. They've been training their whole life.
Art roids in their milk or something. I'm just thinking like, oh, it's a Florida thing. Everybody's better than me,
Yeah.
Coming from here, you just assume that everybody's the shit in Florida. And then I was in Florida, and now I go back, and I went back to almost all those shops that kind of made fun of me when I was a young artist.
Yeah.
And I don't say anything back. But I've literally went into each one of those shops with a portfolio or something nerdy like I used to do. Have my right hand open.
Right.
Hey, is the owner here? How you doing? Want to check out my portfolio? And they're like, yeah. Would you like a job? And then I'm like, no.
Now, has any of them been like, hey, don't I know you from somewhere? Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah.
All the time. I've stepped in shops 10 years later, and they're like, are you? And I'm like, yeah. Yeah, you like almost made me cry 10 years ago. Now you can kiss my ass. I've actually been able to go back and teach some of the same people locally around here that 10 years ago I asked to work for, and then now I give them tips on their color theory, on their color blending,
Yeah.
So it really just fully flip-flopped for me, and it's just kind of a blessed moment to look back on all that.
Yeah. No, it definitely is, man. I mean, yeah, bro. Like, first, I definitely I relate to what you said. Like, if it's hurting you, let it go. Like, I just went through some shit, and I was just like, man, I should have just let it go. And I did want to ask, when you were in Florida, like going back on your tattooing, how long did it take you before you came back and built your business here?
I was down in Florida. I just started getting the hang of that, man. I think I was down there for about 1.5 years from the time I decided I really, really want to be a tattoo artist. About 1.5 years of kind of beach bumming it and just kind of bouncing around between some shops. And then I came back here, and I actually quit tattooing. again, you know, and my friends got me back into it. They're like, dude, you're the only one that can do this. It's sentimental.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, man, just one. I did one, and then I'm like, that was kind of cool. Let me do another one.
All right, one more.
And then I took on a full-time job as a tattoo artist, you know, a few weeks after moving back home. And then wasn't, you know, too long before then where I started running that shop. And then it was about 4 months in. And this is one of the craziest stories because a lot of people know me from business and just entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
I can't stand business. I cannot stand it, man.
Same here, man. Like I just love the process of creating stuff, like the business after trying to sell it or like whatever.
Yeah.
That's the pain in the ass.
It takes
Yeah.
away from the art, man.
Yeah.
And that's the toughest part for me is balancing all aspects. Because at this moment, I don't feel like my artwork is the most difficult part of my day. Even though I put 100% effort into it, it's probably the easiest part of my day. The hardest part is balancing everything with the artwork. Because every time you take away a percentage, like your car gets smashed in your driveway,
Oh my god.
it
dude.
kind of affects your mind in the art that you want to do.
Yeah.
So I was kind of forced to open my first tattoo shop. That wasn't the game plan. I came to work one day and all the shit was gone. And the landlord's like, you got to go. And I'm like, I'm actually here for work. He's like, no, dude, he ended the lease.
Oh.
You need to sign this lease or get out.
Yeah.
And I'm like, hey, Google, how do you own a tattoo shop? That's a true story. And that's how I opened up a shop. But, man, every day we have to try to put our creative mindsets on hold and then capitalize on some sort of business side of it, business venture. Okay, you know, yeah, we can't wait to get to our artwork, but before that, we have to, you know, read the audience. We have to set up the foundations. We have to
Oh my god.
figure out all the prelims before you can even get 1 ounce of creativity out there. And by the time you get everything done, do you have enough energy to still be creative?
Yeah.
Do you still got it in you to come up with some badass art that nobody's ever seen before? Because when people go to art expos, conventions, you know, museums, they're looking at one thing, you know, and that's the product of the entire process, right? Mm-hmm. You know, they want to see the art piece from this expo. But what they don't see is all the folding tables we had to unfold, all of the flyers we had to print, all of the banners we had to hang, you know, the walls painted, the scrubbing the floors, just the dumb stuff that...
Staying up all night just to have the peace and quiet to do the work because
so after
everything
you
during
stayed
the day,
up for 60 hours, you know, putting stickers on boxes, I need you to just, you know, drink a Red Bull and then come up with the dopest art that you've ever seen before. And it's a lot.
Yeah.
It's hard being an artist, man.
Oh, dude. Tell
And
me
we
about
all
it,
know
man.
that, man. It's tough. And whether you're doing music or
Yeah.
murals and everywhere in between, there's so much behind the scenes.
Yeah. And a lot of people are so unaware of that, of how much it really goes into. I mean, for me personally, like, I can't just sit down and draw just because somebody wants me to.
Oh yeah.
It's
bro.
definitely a mindset. It's a if it takes me too long to go out to my garage or wherever I'm set up at, and it takes me 20 minutes to set my paints and shit up, I might not even paint that day. Like if I can't just walk up and start,
Yeah.
it's sometimes hard for me to even get that motion going. So having all the distractions in between, and yeah, and throwback, Progressive sucks. I hope you're not trying to get a sponsorship from Progressive Insurance. They fucking suck.
Shout out to Geico. We love you.
Dude, and that's crazy because, bro, you know that happened to me too. My neighbor across the street, he backed up into my truck, fucked it up, and as a nice guy that I was trying to be, not call the cops on them so they can not get in trouble. They fucked me over, bro. They didn't have like good insurance, and the insurance they did have, the dude wasn't calling it like, oh yeah, I fucked up his truck. He was blocking the calls so they couldn't what's it called? Continue it.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
pay me out because he wasn't answering, bro. So I was
He
like,
was like couldn't finish the report and
bro,
shit.
the whole time, bro, I couldn't think of anything to draw, and like if somebody did wanted a piece at that time, bro, it was kind of hard for me to even concentrate, bro. I was just like, bro, I got no truck, you know, like fuck.
Yeah, and then this dude that smashed both my cars, he had no insurance. And then I just found out, like on the way over here, I just got the phone call. He's got 2 houses.
What?
We're taking one of them.
He's got 2 houses and no car insurance. I'm like,
That
what
one's
the
mine,
hell?
Yeah.
Dude,
This is our house now. Remember
that's
those
crazy.
cars? Yeah.
So yeah, that's been a. But yeah, that's those types of distractions though. Those that'll take complete. Like you'll wake up in the morning like ready gung ho to be creative and then just that one little thing. It doesn't have to be as dramatic as your car being smashed, but something weird, just simple. It can happen sometimes. Like
I feel like the car smash is awfully relevant for you.
It
bro.
is, but it can definitely be something smaller that can
Yeah.
throw you off your whole game.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
that's true,
saying?
yeah.
Your package arrived that came today, but something was broken inside. Well, shit, now I got to deal with Amazon for the next hour or whatever,
Or-
and then your whole drive for that day is screwed up now.
Bad news, like something happened in your family, like, or what's it called? You're looking forward to something, but then like that thing's canceled.
Yeah.
Yeah, when your
Yeah, just-
momentum's real low, man, your creativity is much lower too.
Yeah.
And not that you got to be like on your high horse all the time to produce good artwork, but we will start getting in rhythm and just producing stuff out of habit. So if somebody wants, a mountain landscape painting, we could probably do one of these and we'll close our eyes and just Bob Ross the shit out of it. If somebody wants an infinity symbol, I'm probably watching TV while I'm doing it, and just out of rhythm, man.
Yeah.
But you can't produce the craziest of creations if you're not 100%.
Yeah.
So you got to get your shit right before you start doing this.
Yeah.
And dude, my question to you, Marcus, is like, you as a tattoo artist, bro, like that gets like I don't even know how many people a day, a week, like how do you do it? Because like I feel like a tattoo artist has to stay creative because like out of the blue, Chris Jeebus comes in. I want a skull with flames coming out of its eyes, but then I want the body to be like a fairy flying with a fucking machine gun.
Well, and then not only that, but being a tattoo artist, I feel like you run into the same thing. Like I might be the third person that week that wanted that style, and you don't want to just copy that same tattoo each time, so you got to make those little adjustments and changes so it's
Yeah.
unique to everybody,
I set the bar immediately through the conversation. If somebody's like, yo, Dunlap, I want this blue skull with flames. And I'm like, cool, man. But how do you want it? And they're like, now you have a choice. Are you going to let me do me? Or are you going to make me do a blue skull with flames? Because if you say, listen, bro, I love your work. I got $400. Do it.
Yeah.
I'm like, you are going to get it. I can do my thing. I can just get in my zone. But if you make me get in a zone, if you put me in a box,
Yeah.
like it
if you're
has
like,
to be like this.
yo,
and
Chris,
has
I need you
this.
to do this and it has to be exactly like this. Yo, Dunlap, it has to be just like this. Well, all right, then you're just another number. But if you don't want to be just another number, because nothing about us is average. And I never want anything to be average about us. And if you force us to try to mold into that norm, it's not going to be the best result. If you make us do something, it's exactly that. You're making us do something. And the whole point of us being artists is we don't follow rules.
Yeah.
We don't like borders. We don't like staying in between the lines, man. We want to do whatever the hell we want when we want. And that's why we're artists. And if you allow us to do that, you're going to get the best version of us. If you let us do us, you're going to get everything you expected out of us.
Yeah, that's true. It took me a while to really get that. Like when people would ask me for a project, and then I gave them my style, but they were kind of looking for a different, like like the in between. And like I never got that. I was like, but you asked me for this project, So
Right.
why aren't you that happy? It's like, oh, okay, there's a difference between
Yeah.
I like your style, or I want you to do exactly this.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, there's definitely that line between artists that or customers that want your art because it's your art, and there's people that just want something done.
Yeah.
It's kind of that balance between the business and the bullshit and the art and creativity. Because when I'm teaching art or I'm teaching tattooing, if you want to make money doing something, you have to abide by trends and needs of your customers. Your customer's going to come in and they're going to want their great aunt's name that used to play the violin, that loved checkers and wore pink bow ties. And they want you to put that in a tat.
Yeah.
Now, it may not be the most exciting shit. So there's two ways I break down everything that I do. I break it down by creativity and technicality. Okay? If there's something that I'm really not into, like the previous design that I just said, nowhere in me is like excited to put that collage of bullshit together. But here's the part that excites me. Can I do it?
Okay.
Okay? Because
And you accept it as a challenge.
you're damn right. You know, okay, no, I'm not excited about this design. I'm not excited to put, the infinity symbol with the feather and the birds flying out. Of course I'm not excited to do that. I've done it 1,000 times. But what I am excited about is to prove to everybody that my technical skills can accomplish this very simple task in the best, most efficient, cleanest way possible to show my technical challenge. So that's exactly how I look at that. Almost like turn your creativity off a little bit and turn your technical cleanliness up. So no, I'm not excited to do this artwork, but this tattoo would be the cleanest tattoo you've ever seen.
And mastering those particular skills.
Yeah, that's all just part of the trade side at that point. You're focusing more on the business side than you are the artistic side, which you have to have all that. Just like you can't have a black and gray artist that refuses to do color. Well, why? That's like a tattoo artist that can't sell a tattoo. Or like an antisocial psychiatrist.
Right.
What are you doing, man?
Yeah.
You got to have these different sides, man. If you don't have it all, then what's your value?
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I've never understood the limiting yourself. This kind of goes back to what we were saying earlier about not putting yourself in a box of only being a painter or I've never understood that not wanting to expand your portfolio to do these other things.
Yeah. But some things do take longer, like.
For sure.
Like, I mean, there is a difference between pencil and paper and canvas and paint.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, yeah, you can't just paint like you draw. Like, you gotta wait, bro. Like,
well, and sometimes you do it for you. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Just because that's what you like. It's not necessarily because it's a job or a gig or whatever. But sometimes it's just you're expanding your own creativity for yourself. You know what I'm saying? To reach outside that box and try those things.
yeah.
And everybody's so different, too. That's the best part about art, man. You're never going to find two of the exact same artists.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, you can, but it's called biting.
Right.
Yeah.
Screw you guys, by the way, if you do that. I know some of you steal my designs, by the way. I just want you to know. COVID's coming around again. So.
Oh, dude.
I joined a protest against COVID over there in London about
Yeah, he just got
5
back
days
from Europe
ago.
a couple days ago,
Okay.
and accidentally walked in on a protest in France.
I was minding
like,
my
what
own
the
business
hell?
on my way to go mess with the guards outside of the palace. And the streets are blocked off, and there's cops everywhere. And I'm like, man, we got to go see what happened. Somebody got stabbed, for sure.
Yeah.
So I seen my first London murder. Let's roll.
Yeah.
So I'm following these people, and I hear these chants, dude, these chants. All of a sudden, I'm seeing signs poke out of the crowd, and I'm like, oh, shit, it's the war.
It started.
The war has started, And all of a sudden, I started reading the signs, and it was like, our life, our choice. And I'm like, is it abortion? Like I'm like trying to
What are they
relate it to
talking
what
about?
we're doing over here. And I'm like, all right, that's not a topic over here, apparently. It's COVID. They're literally trying to shut them down right now again. So after about 7 or 8 signs passed by, and I'm like, I started kind of getting in the groove more, and all of a sudden my hands started going up, and all of a sudden I'm like, yeah! My American ass hopped in that London rally, and I marched all around the Buckingham Palace, dude, like I was a local, man, because I liked what they believed in, and I was like, that is awesome. I did a live feed on it and everything. And by the way, they don't like Americans.
Oh, really?
Not at all. So, but I used an English accent. It was horrible, but I think some people believed it. Back in my
They're like,
drinking
this dude
days,
thinks he's pulling off an English accent.
I really thought I was, man. Some people kind of looked at me with that weird look, and they're like, he's either stupid or it's not his real accent. Yeah. So either way, I got the attention, and that was the purpose of that rally. So I felt like I contributed.
Yeah.
I did my part, man.
That's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, dude. You should have been like, you know what really stops COVID? Tattoos by Dr. Dunlap.
So I tell you what, tattooing out of this country was a game changer for me.
First
And
time, if you don't mind me asking?
First time out of the country. And now I tour this country every chance I get. And if you guys follow my Instagram at Marcus Tats, you see my travels, but I go everywhere. You know, and I've had a few shops in Florida, and I try to hit every state. And I have my favorites now, you know, and I like to kind of go to similar places. Mm-hmm. So at this point in my career, I have friends and clients everywhere. That's great. But I've been doing that for a long time. And it was time to broaden the horizons. So my tattoos took me to Amsterdam, you know, the Netherlands, to Germany, to France, you know, to England, and I went to all these places to tattoo, and it was such a game changer. And right off the bat, we're talking open creativity. When I went to Amsterdam to tattoo, they reached out and they were like, hey, we heard about you. We want you to tattoo us in the Netherlands. Yeah. And I'm like, I'm geeked. I'm like, hold on. How the hell did you hear about it? Yeah, right. It hit me up on Instagram, and I'm like, dude, the World Wide Web. I don't have to hand out flyers at Walmart anymore. You know, this is not the 90s. This is what's up, man. So, fucking Instagram, dude. Gotta love it. So, I'm in the Netherlands, and I meet my client. She speaks no English. Now, this will throw you off, because on Instagram, I'm talking to this girl. I'm like, yeah, man, I can't wait, dude. You seem so awesome. I'm geeked. And she replies in English. I'm so geeked too. Can't wait to come see you. And she's like, some of the wording's different, you know. Yeah. Like, I can't wait to see you, you know.
It came across with an accent.
And I get there, and I'm like, hey, you know, I'm not gonna say her name. And I like give her a hug, and she's kind of like looking at me, and I'm like, oh shit, it's the wrong person. I just hugged this random, adorable blonde girl, surrounded by all these other blonde Dutch women, and I would hug them all, I guess. But one of these blonde girls I'm tattooing, and she wasn't staring at me because we like hugged it out. She was staring at me because she don't know what the hell I'm saying. She is speaking all Dutch, and I only know how to say nice butt in Dutch. Mooie kant.
Nice butt.
Mooie kant. And I'm on Duolingo trying to figure out what the hell I'm doing, because I have this giant tattoo to do. And after the language barrier and the Google Translate kind of helped out, this girl drove from Germany to get tattooed by me, some dude from America that she was going to meet in the Netherlands to do this extremely difficult tattoo that she couldn't find anybody to do.
That's crazy,
across the world.
That's crazy.
And she said, do whatever you want. It was like music to my ears.
Oh, yeah.
Because I can't even get some of my supporters, my main supporters, to just say, here you go, bro.
Do whatever you want.
Knowing, like, that's how I work. This lady that's never met me from across the world is like, do you, Dunlap? You're the doctor. And I'm like, I don't know how to say that in Dutch, but you're the shit. Yeah. So let me Google Translate, you're the shit, and not just say nice butt. And,
you guys can keep going. It's just, I think.
So I did whatever I wanted on her. It came out great, and she did not give me a budget to stay under. She just let me do my thing, and the best that I could, and then paid me literally what I asked for. You just don't get that from everyone and everywhere.
No, you don't, bro. Shit.
Yeah,
she
that's
respected
rarity,
the
super rare.
artwork.
Because, it's on your body, A lot of people
Yeah,
are like,
man.
I want to know what's
Super
going on
particular, yeah.
That's something that everybody really needs to hear, and everybody needs to change, though. If you believe in that person, or if you're trying to support them, a lot of people will say, I support this person, but are you following them on Instagram? Are you following them on Facebook? Would you ask them how much their service costs, or would you just be willing to pay for that service because you actually believe in it?
there.
And that's a milestone for an artist, is if you get somebody to just simply have it done.
Yeah.
Have that mural painted. I want you to commission drawing this. I want you to tattoo this. I want you to do you.
More concerned with the outcome than they are the budget.
Not even, many people say their first question is, how much?
Yeah.
How often do you hear that in every art piece? Bro, I want you to do this. How much?
Yep.
Fuck how much? What do you mean how much? I thought you wanted it.
Yeah, bro. Yeah.
And then you'll start getting sensitive about it. Like, yo, I need this to be perfect. I need it right now. I need it no later than tomorrow. Tomorrow's too late, and I need the best of the best of the best. And then you ask me how much?
Right.
I thought the other requirements were up front.
Yeah.
I thought you wanted the best. I thought you wanted it quick. I thought you wanted it right now, and I thought you wanted me to do it. But then you ask how much. What's the relevancy of the price at that moment when you already stated your requirements? And there's a reason you're asking us to do that.
Yep.
And if you already did your research and you heard that this is where you need to go, then what in the hell is the point in asking how much? Because if you're not ready for it financially, that's okay.
Yeah.
Who the hell's got extra money laying around just for whatever,
Yeah.
But by the time you already reached out, you done your research, you already pre-planned to have your finances on point. So if your finances are on point, you can focus on actually what you want.
Yeah, you're not trying to get like a budget deal version. You're not trying to try to get that final product.
And guess what? Fixing other people's mistakes costs more.
I bet. Yeah,
Dude, I mean, you're talking way extra time, and a way difficult job compared to the original job that if you would have just spent $100 extra or $1,000 extra, now you wouldn't have had to wait multiple sessions, multiple weeks, and try to find somebody that would even take on this project now because you already have the trauma from a mistake.
Yeah, dude. Like,
All because you wanted to save $100 or $1,000 after you already did your research and found the person that you wanted them to do, but because of the budget that you wanted to stay under, instead of saving up for another month and being more patient, now you're kicking yourself in your ass. Now you're looking in the mirror like, damn, now you can't take off your shirt because you got no regrets on your chest. And if you just would have chilled the hell out, man, I see you wearing brand new Jordans. I see you wearing Calvin Klein. But I see no regrets on your chest.
Right.
How much thought did you put into that,
yeah, that's something people like, bro. Even when I was tattooing or trying, like practicing, fucking, I tell people like, "Are you sure?" Because I'm not good, Like, not only can you cover it up, but the thing is, if I scar you too much, it's harder for the artist that's gonna fix it to cover it up. Yeah, man, trust me. I definitely, I've been there with a little bit because my apprentice was my cousin. And he taught me all that, bro.
Yeah.
Taught me all that.
Well, realistically, y'all gotta start somewhere.
Yeah.
I started somewhere. Everybody started somewhere. The first time that Chris did a painting, it was not his best painting. The first time I did a tattoo, it was not my best tattoo. Anything that you do for the first time, even with dumb beginner's luck, it's probably not going to be your best. If you constantly excel and you care about whatever you're doing and you're passionate about it, you will excel and you will get better.
Yeah.
So unfortunately, your soldiers that were up front on the front line, they're going to take a beating, man. They're going to take a hit. So the best thing that you could do is retract whatever you had previously on your projects and go try to make it right. So many of my first tattoos you will never see because I went back and covered them up. when I figured out how to do it. But you have to learn somehow. But nowadays, there's so many cool things that you could do. The best part about painting, which is what I give the most benefit from learning how to tattoo, is that canvas can't go on Twitter and say, Chris, I'm sick of your shit. Look at what you did to me. You know, that canvas is not going to show up to your door and be like, you want to fight? You know, look at what you did. No regrets. You know, they have this cool stuff now that you could practice on that won't give you a bad review. But if you practice on people, man, you got a 50-50 shot. It's either going to be okay or it's not.
Yeah.
And if it's not, that might screw up your whole life.
Yeah.
I got people that I tattooed 13 years ago, and they're like, hey, man, you're not very good at tattooing, man. That was really bad. And I'm like, damn, dude, I'm really sorry. Let me see. Did it heal bad? And they're like, no, this was 13 years ago. We did it in a basement. I'm like,
Well,
I'm not doing it in the basement anymore. I'd be happy to take care of that, you know? But that reputation never left their mind.
No, I bet, bro. I mean, again,
So,
that's on people's skin,
You
bro.
got to try to fix a 13-year-old mental reputation from them because what you did to them. And it might take you another 13 years to correct that mentality they have on you.
Yeah.
That reputation that you built with them, all because of a dumb mistake.
And how do you guys feel about, like, so me, like, I have fucked people up, not lying about it. I told them, like, if they really felt like I fucked them up that bad, I know somebody that can fix it. Either I can put my good word in it for you, or I'll throw in what I can to fix it. Like, do you guys, like, would you guys tell somebody that, or would you just be like, hey, man, like, we did what we did? I mean, either we do another session and fix it, or leave it as.
I think it would come down with me. It'd be like depending on who it is and what it was I was doing. If it was something that I thought I could have done better on, I might try to go that route with it, you know. But if it's one of those things where I'm going into it like, dude, I'm telling you, man, this is up in the air.
It's up in the air.
Then
Wish
at
us
the end
luck,
of that, then
fingers
I'm kind of like,
crossed.
that was your choice, man. Like,
Dude, oh my god, bro! The worst tattoo I've done was on my cousin's back. I was gonna do his whole name in cursive, and his last name is Montellano.
The longest name ever.
To my cousin, bro.
Summarize that. The initial, man.
Dude, and it's so bad because Montellano is like, what, 7-8 words? I only finished one.
Oh, shit.
And that motherfucker was... Bro, I love you, cuz, for that, but man, yeah. No,
Sorry, cuz.
yeah.
Hit me up for a cover up, man. I got you.
No, he did good. He got it covered up. Because, again, my cousin is also his cousin, the one that tattoos him.
Right on.
Like, again, like, you know, I told him, cuz, can you fix it, bro?
Dude, some people, man, will have a pain threshold that just won't hold out. And I've done some people in the chair where I'll have this big extravagant tattoo planned out and they'll get like one line done. And they're like, you know, I think I'm good. And I'm like, oh, you got to go use the restroom or something?
Yeah, I know.
They're like, no, man, I like this tattoo. And I'm like, the line? They're like, yeah, man, I love it. This is a great line.
Bro.
This is actually good now. We're out of here. I'm like, okay. That's what?
Where do you see people complaining the most? The lining or the shading? Because for me, I want to say it's the lining because it's... I can handle... Nah, I don't even know. I think the shading.
I think that's a
Because you got
complex
multiple...
question for the style. So
Yeah.
me personally, I do mainly shading in my tattoos. I don't do a lot of line work, especially when I do realism. There's no lines, and
Oh my god.
the shading always feels real good. Like when I'm getting tatted, the shading's like a feather. You know, it's a deep tissue massage. It feels great. Once you hit about 4 hours, that feather turns into razor blades.
It does.
You know, that deep tissue massage is like the new Saw movie. It's just
Yeah.
torture, man. So,
Bro, I know. Look.
yeah, oh yeah, man.
Bro, right here. Oh my god.
I
Yeah,
think for
the
me,
little
I don't
spot.
think it's necessarily the lining or shading that fucks with me, but it's always towards the end after like the 4 hour mark or whatever. It's the wipe.
Oh, dude.
Bro.
That wipe kills
Oh,
me every
man.
time. I'd rather be just like, just keep tattooing. Don't wipe that shit. Just
I know, me too.
I love that shit because the second somebody shows pain, shows me an emotion, I'm like, And I can't get enough of it, man. It's cynical, but
The green acid, bro.
I see somebody in pain and I'm like, this is why I do this shit. Because, man, that's the best thing ever. And it sounds weird, but whatever you got going on in life, whether your car gets smashed in your driveway, your girl's giving you shit, you had a bad day at work, whatever it is, you may have the worst day ever. But let me stab you with my needle, my 11-round liner in your rib cage, and whatever shit you got going on fades away. Because that really hurts.
It does, yeah.
You're getting tattooed on your ribs, man, and you no longer care about your late car payment. You no longer care about when you stubbed your toe 2 days ago. You and your baby mama are arguing, and you come get a tattoo on your throat. And you forgot you had a baby mama. There's nothing that's more distracting than the pain of a tattoo. And that's why when I see people react to the pain about how they want to stop, they want to be done with it. I'm like, nah, man, embrace it. Because the second you're done with this, your reality comes back.
Yeah.
Because when you're getting tattooed, it's the greatest thing in the world.
Yeah, bro. I don't know why, bro. I like the pain. Obviously, it gets too much after a few hours and then a bunch of hand wipes, bro. Like, that shit stinks.
And then the white highlights.
Oh,
the right highlights.
Dude, like, my cousin, he fucked with me. He made me look at it, thinking it was done. And then he was like, yeah, you think it's badass, right? I was like, yeah, bro. Like, all right, let's do highlights.
Yeah.
Then we were done.
One of his favorite things to do is be like, all right, we're almost done. All right, cool, we're almost done. And then he'll fill up a couple more colors. You're like, wait, what? I just got to do white next. But he didn't tell you about the three colors in between.
5 more minutes the shit out of you, man. How much longer, man? 5 more minutes. 5 more minutes. And then 15 minutes will go by. And I'm like, bro, I'm on the last color. Yeah. And then I'll pour some more colors. And then when they finally say, I'm done, I'm tapping. I'm like, all right, cool, man. We're done with the tat. Now I just got white highlights. That wasn't even a part of the tat. That's the next stage, man. That wasn't, that doesn't even count, man. But these people nowadays are using numbing agents, and they're wearing Crocs, and
they're wearing Crocs.
If you come in the shop and you're wearing Crocs, I automatically assume that you're gonna ask me for numbing cream. I've done a study. Hear me out, man. I've done a study, and I'm talking 10 clients, 10 pairs of Crocs in total. 20 Crocs are staring at me, and 18 of them are going to ask for numbing cream. 10 of them are going to pass out, so now I'm getting the smelling salts, the ammonia inhalant. Crocs are in the air. It's going to be okay. You're giving them CPR. Like, if you wouldn't have wore them Crocs, man, your pain threshold wouldn't have been that low. But you decided, you woke up and you're like, this is a good idea to go in public wearing this shit. I'm going to make a fool of myself while I get no regrets on my chest. So, future reference, if you're wearing Crocs, that's how I feel. By the way, I seen 2 pairs of Crocs in all of Europe. I was in Europe for 2 weeks. I went to 5 countries. I seen 2 pairs of Crocs. 4 singular Crocs I studied and mean mugged from across the table.
And for those who don't know, he hates Crocs.
With my American eyes in that Europe country, man, I seen 4 Crocs, and I looked very down upon them. I'm like, how did they get over here? Who smuggled?
Some Crocs.
Who was the mule that put those Crocs in their suitcase and they snuck them out of this country? What the hell happened, man?
I know, dude. That shit's crazy because you see them all over here, bro.
Everywhere.
Man.
I'm also not a fan. Like, I like the charms though, bro. That's cool because I make them into magnets.
Oh, it's crazy too. The actual story behind Crocs is pretty crazy because they actually first appeared in Idiocracy.
I was gonna say that, dude. Yeah.
The whole movie is coming to reality right
Yeah, I know.
now.
That's when they first appeared at, wasn't it? And they were
Electrolytes are
chosen.
what they crave, bro.
They were chosen because literally the designer was like, "There's no way these are ever gonna become popular."
Just put Kanye's name on it. Dude. Somebody will buy that shit. And, he pulled the Kardashian, so you know what? You might have to give it a shot.
Yeah,
Yeah, even that style type of shoe, bro. I'm not a big fan. It looks like foam. Looks
Yeah.
weird on your feet, bro.
Yeah, I even have some knockoff Yeezys, and
I like the ones that like have the like canvas look on top.
yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
The 300s or something. I don't know.
Something
Yeah.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I got the 350s and the 720s. I think
It's just the
they're
foam
comfortable.
ones. Yeah.
They're cool.
That's what I do like about them is they're comfortable. I think they look like socks though, like on top of a sole. Mine do. I can't say all of them, but mine look like socks on top of a
They're
sole.
real cool, but they do come with a weakness. Puddles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You step in one puddle, one light drizzle in the climate, and those shoes are done for.
Yeah.
Yep.
Man, and then a car just drives by you, like that just bad day in the movie scene where you're walking on the sidewalk minding your own damn business and you just get sprayed by a tsunami from a stupid F-150. Don't wear Yeezys during that, man.
Yeah.
Let's talk about this Hensons ball coming up.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is a huge event. Rockford is known for local people doing big things. And I'm not a Rockford resident, but I do a lot of business in Rockford. And my whole life, every time I wanted to do something big, it was always go to Rockford. I grew up in Beloit. And Beloit now is just skyrocketed almost into a little version of a city like Rockford. But Rockford is just always cultured and on the move. And they just did the fashion show. And they had a really
Shout out
good
Calvin.
turnout. Yeah, shout out to him, man. I met him multiple times. He's always awesome every time I see him.
Sure.
I followed the fashion show from kind of when he was advertising it to when they sold out the tickets to everything. He did a really good job. And nothing could follow it better than what he's doing right now. And, of course, I'm a part of all the prelims. I'm seeing the behind the scenes and all the sleepless nights that it takes to put on some shit like this.
Oh.
And that's what everybody does. Kind of like what we talked about before, where everybody just came to the expo to see the art, but they didn't see all the frames around the art. They didn't see the tablecloths. They didn't see the custom lighting that they had to install that took 4 days and 10 electricians, So we're building this event right now to follow this great event that just happened. And Rockford is so big. And I do a little bit of research. You're talking 150,000 people roughly in Rockford right now.
Yeah.
And where I come from, South Beloit, 7,000. Okay, so that's 23 times bigger. 22 and a half, 23 and a half times bigger than what I'm used to. So for me, being able to work in something that extravagant, that crazy for me is mind-blowing. But here's the downfall of Rockford. Yes, they're doing cool shit. Does everybody appreciate the cool shit? And everybody
that's the
kind of
big problem. Right
everybody kind of hates on their own cities. And it almost seems like I'm hating on my city. I'm not. I just think that it's not progressive. Where I'm at with a population of 7,000, I don't want to be a big fish in a little pond. I want to be a whale shark in the Pacific. Man, I don't want to feed off of constant victories and friends that support me. I want some bigwigs to come down from their realm and say, dude, step it up. What the hell are you doing? And we got these badass events, and more people in Rockford need to support that. More people need to be getting involved. You got 150,000 people here, and you're trying to sell out tickets for 300 tickets. What? Out of 150,000 people, you can't sell 300? Rockford, where are you at, and what are you doing? Because I got a little secret of my artwork, because I plan on getting a lot more involved in Rockford because I believe in Rockford. It's got the scene, it's got the culture, it's got the people, it's got the money, it's got everything you need to be your own superhero and your own story in this city. And where I come from, it's limited resources, limited people, limited money, and I've made something of myself in nothing. Imagine what you could do in a city. Now imagine the people that are already in that city that are taking it for granted. Like, oh, Rockford ain't shit. Rockford doesn't have this. No, Rockford
I used to
is
be like
the
that,
shit.
bro. I've said it before.
Rockford's
I'm
got
guilty.
it going on.
Yeah,
and
it does,
you
bro.
need to show everybody why Rockford has it going on.
Yeah.
Because it might take an outside person to remind you of that.
That's
And you got this event coming.
or a person that leaves, you know.
Yeah.
And if those tickets aren't sold out by next week, I'm mind blown.
Yeah.
Because it deserves to be sold out. People should be begging to get into something like this. Because not only is it following an awesome event, it's one of a kind event. It's something nobody's ever even done before.
I know, yeah.
A themed event like this. Have you ever heard of such a thing? And I travel this country and I now travel this world. And I've never heard of some shit like that. And if I'm over here flying from London, flying from Amsterdam and telling people about this event in some place called Rockford, Illinois, and they're bringing it, Rockford needs to bring it.
Yeah, bro.
And that's something that everybody needs to hear.
Yeah, absolutely. That's
Manny, shout out Manny, from Tamale Fest, bro. He's the one that told me that generally majority of the people from Tamale Fest come out of like around Rockford.
from around. Yeah.
Come in, bro. So I was just like, that's weird, you know? Like
Yeah.
there's like again, like you said, like so many people like, and few they're not in like there, you know? Like it's weird, you know?
And that's one of the things that's great, with me being able to hang out with him too, is getting that outsourced, perspective as well too. Because living here, sometimes you just get, everybody gets numb
Complacent.
to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, complacent with
you're
it. And
comfy and you're complacent and you kind of take for granted
and
everything that you have right in front of you.
Yeah, because just like that example alone, you think about Beloit. I've obviously been out and do a lot in Beloit as well too, and you think of it. Rockford's 23 times bigger than that.
23 of everything that I know times by 23. I'm talking there's 4 stoplights where I live, 23 times everything that I know.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah,
And
there's
people in Rockford are like, "Oh, I'm bored." And I'm like, "Fucking how?"
Dude,
You got a Walmart? I ain't got wait, you got how many Walmarts you got? You got 2? Is there 2 Walmarts in Rockford?
I think
like
there's
3.
like 4.
Are you shitting me?
Yeah.
Yo, I have to go a town over to get to a Walmart, so I'm sick of this. Oh man, I have 4 Walmarts. I'm so bored. How about go to the Hensons Ball, because people in Amsterdam want to come.
Yeah,
And guess what? They're not bored of their 4 Walmart city. Come on, man. And I think people really need a reality check with that. And I think the art scene is huge in Rockford, but I also think that some people are getting some publicity strictly by the fact that you are in the city and there is culture. Because some of these artists are not putting in the effort that they should also. So not only do I think that Rockford deserves the credentials and the credit of everybody that's really doing it out here, because there's some awesome people doing it out here, but there's a lot of people that are just associated. They're like the cool kid that you don't know why they're cool, but they hung out with the cool kid, so they just were accepted because their older brother was a cool kid 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And it's like, yo, man, if you're not gonna take advantage of all these great opportunities that this city's giving you, then get the fuck out of the way, because a real artist is gonna come in here and put the effort in.
Yeah.
And everybody can get their fair share. But if you're not willing to do your part, if you can't pull your own weight, move out of the way. It's not a disrespectful thing. It's an opportunity. And if you're going to waste it, like
No, dude, I feel
picture Seth Rogen. What a waste of a celebrity, man. I like Seth Rogen, but does he do anything? Not a fan of him. Picture a celebrity that's donating to the charities. He's active in the community. He doesn't just sit around and do pottery all day. Imagine having the opportunity to change the world and you don't. Get out of the way, dog. Move around. Because if you have the gift or the talent or the ability to do something that somebody else can't and you don't use it, you're screwing us all over, man. If you can support somebody doing that, if you don't have the talent, then you're doing your part. Do your part, pull your weight, and that's all life's about, helping other people. But if you're just wasting away, if you're just putting forth minimum effort, if you're taking the easy route every day, you got to get out of the path, man. And that sounds bad, but that's what I'm here for. I feel like I need to say it.
It creates a lot of turbulence for other people that are putting in the effort. It puts out bad names and bad stigma on certain things and certain levels when people don't have that real passion or drive behind it. You know, you go in and, you know, like they don't really care. They'll leave places messed up. They'll, you know, leave a bad taste in a venue's mouth, and then they don't want to hang art no more because that person didn't give a shit and they left holes in the wall, or, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, no, it definitely messes things up for everybody when you don't want to be like, when you're doing it as a hobby amongst people that are trying to do it as a career, if you will.
Mm.
Like, and not to say that you can't, you know, there's not a place for everybody, but there, because I mean, there's a place, but that's kind of the thing. Like, you know, if that's what you're doing, do that, but do that in the areas where you do that. Don't take it from, you know what I'm saying, mess it up for other people.
Yeah, no, guys, I think you're meant to be here, bro, because I mean, I'm relating to what you said, bro, because I'm going through that right now. Like, I feel like, because, like, you know, like, am I helping people or am I not? Like, you know, like, am I making a difference? Should I just stay out the way? You know, should I just focus on me? And then once I get my name big enough where, like, you know, if I do bring talented people like yourselves, you know, I'm actually helping you guys spread whatever you guys got to spread, you know?
You're giving people a voice. And
Yeah.
if they have something to say that could help somebody else or even be relevant in any aspect, that's extremely helpful.
Yeah, and like, I mean, with yours, you take yours, you know what I'm saying? It's not a joke to you. You're not in here just, you know, using people to try to just, you know, fuck around.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You have a legitimate platform that you use and that you've created. You know what I'm saying? Which is something that helps people. You know, even if it at this point hasn't reached 8 billion people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It, even within our community, you're one of the bigger podcasts within the community. You know what I'm saying? Of particularly the group of people we all know, the artists, the musicians, so on and so forth. So your platform, I feel like, is more important than you realize, because
Yeah,
you don't take it as it's not just a joke to you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I've seen so many podcasts that I just, you know, and I've told you before, yours is one of my favorites because just so many I've seen that it's, you can tell people started it because it was the thing to do, not because they really care that they're doing a podcast.
Yeah.
You
You
know what
never
I mean?
know who's listening, man. And
Yeah, dude, yeah.
you never know whose life you're going to change. One small difference could change the world, man.
Yeah, and on top of that too, like, and it does, you do it to support other people as well. You know what I'm saying? You do give everybody a voice. It's not, you're not just up here being like, oh, I've got somebody with a lot of followers on, so let me plug my merchandise in the middle of what they're trying to say. You know what I mean? Like,
Brought to you by Big Red Gun.
Yeah.
I
If you
just
don't chew Big Red, then fuck you.
I just recently had to deal with this counselor scenario where, like, in the middle of like every counseling session, he kept trying to sell his other outside services, and I was just like, what the
Got the
hell?
monopoly on the
Why do we
market.
have a commercial in the middle of this like therapy session and shit? Like,
Capitalism.
But and also, like, even me also dealing with business too, like, even that, like, am I helping them, am I not, you know, like, because I don't want to take advantage of nobody else's business. I do appreciate everybody that has let me in their doors, but, like, I feel like if my stuff's not being treated well, you know, I just gotta back out, you know, like, that's all I can do, you know. Hopefully when I did back out, I didn't, like, destroy no friendship or nothing, but
no, for sure.
you know.
Well, and people definitely should need to understand there's definitely a difference between friendships and businesses. You can have a great friendship and just business doesn't work between the two of you.
Yeah.
You know, and there's some people that can't be friends, but they're great at business together.
Yeah, that's weird.
Business is tough, man. They say no emotion in business, and I'm not an emotional person, but for some reason I attach all of my emotion to each one of my businesses because of the passion that comes out of me that I put in that business.
Yeah, bro.
So naturally you get that attachment, you get that emotion. You think that you may be more friends with people just because they're your coworkers, because you have that bond, but that bond is only limited to that work environment, and it shouldn't really be crossed. And that business and personal line is just, it's crossed in every workplace, you know, and it's up to you to kind of regulate that.
Yeah.
But regardless of whatever we do, as long as we're doing it with pride and passion, you'll be all right.
No.
You know, this podcast might be the best podcast on the internet next week. You know,
Whoa. Now that I got you guys on, yeah. but I did want to get back to the. It's just, man, bro. Like the stuff we're talking about, like it's just hitting me a little extra hard right now. Cause
that's why we're here.
I know, bro. Like
me and Chris were on the way here, and I was like, man, I hope that we inspire people, and I hope we piss some people off. Because I got some shit to say.
No, and dude, you definitely do got a good point with the event and like people not like the tickets not selling out, bro. Like it should, bro. Like we have so many people, you know, like.
And where can we find those tickets?
Yeah.
Let's throw the big red commercial out there right now, because that's what we do, right?
Oh yeah.
I mean, I can always put the description later after the.
If you look in
awesome.
this right corner right here, in this imaginary moment, it's gonna be right here. I swear, somewhere. Just click it.
Yeah, but yeah, no, it's gonna be great. October 14th at the McPherson, downtown Rockford. You can get your wristbands. 2 packages are up for sale. You got your VIP package and your standard. You can get those on Eventbrite, HMB23 at .eventbrite.com.
And if I'm not mistaken, if they use A to Z HBM.
HMB.
HMB 23, they get 5 off.
You get $5 off.
Can you say that 3 times though, really fast?
No, I can't.
That'll also be floating around.
Yeah, somewhere up here, 3 times fast is with the boom, boom, boom.
No, yeah, that's definitely in the description up there. Yeah, but we didn't. You guys, I don't know if you're keeping it a secret, but like the theme of it, we didn't even talk about that, dude, because that's definitely unique. Again, when Chris had to explain to me, because I think I'm a little too young for that.
Yeah, no, it definitely hits an interesting audience because within my age range for sure. But it's a theme ball for tribute to Jim Henson's dark fantasy movies. So Labyrinth, Dark Crystal, the Storyteller series, Mirror Mask. Those types always sat with me when I was younger. They were always different, not only due to the fact of the practical effects that they used. It wasn't animation, but still had such a fantasy feel to it. It always held really deep with me.
Yeah.
The visual aesthetics to it were always mind-boggling. And being into sculpting and stuff, it's never influenced any of my stuff before.
Yeah.
And when they re-release or when they put out the new series of Dark Crystal Resistance, that kind of rekindled my thought process of it. And I've never really seen anybody do a whole lot in that realm. And with me in the comic book field, I see cosplay and stuff all the time. Yeah. So I know the ability that these costumes and everything can reach. So I really wanted to do that as a tribute to those particular themes. So I wanted the costumes to go overboard. So we've got a sculptor, Flacco Sculptures. He's making some trophies for us, and his sculpting abilities are.
Oh yeah, Flacco. Yeah. I've definitely seen his work, man.
And he's doing our trophies. So we're gonna give away trophies for best costumes, and costumes required.
Yeah. I was gonna say, bro. I found where you can get masks, bro. It's definitely gonna be lit.
No,
It's gonna be a good time.
We have an LED entertainer that's gonna do a stage performance. We have a special effects artist, Brent Blaze. Shout out Crystal Crush, by the way, for the LED performance. Brent Blaze, a special effects artist in the area. And he's coming out in an amazing getup and everything.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're gonna have get up people, right? Like all around.
Yeah. So and then we are recreating, and like you said, Sleepless Nights are no joke. We're recreating certain set scenes, if you will. I mean, they're not exact replicas. Yeah. But we're doing different scenes. We're doing an underground scene, different, wilderness scene. We're gonna have a large 6-foot crystal, and all these different things that people can take photos with, and all these different visuals, as well as we have a bunch of local artists that I'm getting ready to drop the list of names, but Kelvin, he's going to have a piece in there. We all have pieces in there. You'll recognize a lot of names. Brian Douglas, he's got Douglas art. He's got a piece in there. Just some amazing art pieces as well. And so there's an art gala. There's the costuming. There's going to be a DJ. I'm still working on, a little bit of how we're setting up all the lights and everything. I mean, it's going to be one of those you're working all the way up to the minute of it. But
Yeah, bro. I'm gonna be like a Dark Prince or something. Like, I'm Mexican Prince.
What do you think the lasting effect of this new event's going to be? Like I said, people, if they don't come, they're going to regret it. And then they're going to see these videos and these
Yeah.
posts and they're going to be
Yes.
like, shit,
Definitely
that was
gotta have-
in Rockford?
yeah.
Bro,
Or
you
people really do
It's
things
going
like that?
to,
They
it's,
do. Like,
it's going to be
people are going to
definitely
talk about it, right?
Yeah, it's going to be a one of a kind,
You gotta
unique
have
event.
like a bunch of
and that's
photographers, bro.
yeah. I've got a few photographers coming out. And that's going to be the whole thing. I mean, you have to be in costume, and it's not standard costume. It's it's themed with the dark crystal. You know what I'm saying? Feeling. So it's not that you have to be a Dark Crystal or a Jim Henson character, but it's just in that inspired realm of things.
Yeah,
Like you
yeah,
said,
I mean,
a Dark Prince,
mean,
you're not gonna see.
I don't know the lore, but I've seen like images and references, and I was sort of like, just like, oh, okay, I think I'm gonna go based off with that. Maybe
Yeah.
not as much, but I'm definitely gonna.
Yeah,
try.
no,
You know?
absolutely, absolutely, and that's the fun of it, and it's a chance to have something that's not based around any type of like the trophies that we're giving out for costumes. It's not a competition based costume. It's going to be kind of one of those. Okay, that's an
Rewardable
obvious,
and shit,
obviously a rewardable, piece. We have cosplayer Sage Pizarra's coming out to help us. She'll be able to really tell us. Okay, yeah, you can tell that's
just-
that was
crazy.
really went into it with that. So
It's just hot glue gun.
right. but it's not meant in a competition way. It's going to be kind of one of those everybody sees.
'Cause,
Everybody can tell. Okay, yeah, that costume gets one. All right, yeah, that
Yeah.
costume gets
Yeah.
one.
Yeah, dude. Because, dude, trust me. It's, I mean, again, I'm not like a big cosplayer or anything, but I know the difficulty of like putting everything together, dude. Like, fuck.
Yeah.
Some things aren't made like for you to like, oh, I can buy it and just use it. No, you gotta either make it or be creative.
Yeah,
Right.
and with a lot of shows that I see that are particularly visually driven are very standard visually driven. You get a lot of art shows, and I love my art shows, and there's not knocking any art shows, but a lot of them are very standardized. You walk through an area, things are hanging on walls, and then that's kind of it.
Yeah.
So that's why I wanted to bring a lot of these sets. They're 3D sets. There's something you get to walk up into and take pictures with. It's not just stand in front of or stand back and look at. Some of it's going to be partially interactive. We're going to have a couple like wall pieces that you can actually take and move around a little bit. So it's.
I think you nailed it right there, that it's not like all the other stuff. Everything nowadays, if it's not mainstream, it doesn't exist. Everything is becoming very similar.
Mm-hmm.
Every art show's the same. Every tattoo show's the same. This will not be the same.
You're entering into a different reality.
It's
Yes.
different.
Yeah.
Some of it might be weird. That's the goal.
Yeah.
It's not like every other thing. And the world is missing unique shit. There's just not in existence anymore. Nobody's trying to do different. Everybody wants to blend.
Yep.
It's a dying thing, and we're going to miss it when it's gone.
Yeah.
And it's in the middle of October, guys. The most, like,
Yeah, all the costume shops are open, got sales going on. I feel like in this realm too, people that want to do Halloween stuff, when you're doing just Halloween, you get maybe a Halloween show or costume event, maybe two if you're lucky. But I always get my costume or my pieces or whatever for Halloween type of night. I feel like it's almost wasted only being able to use it once or do
You gotta
one
dress up on a
costume
Tuesday
event, right?
and hit Costco up, like,
right.
what's up? You never know who's gonna,
Right.
who's
But
gonna wear
then
what over there.
this gives it kind of another chance as well to bring your costume, your Halloween spirit out, your whole,
Get unique, get weird,
and it's
get
going to be
have fun.
Yeah, and it's near the end of the season. It's everybody's going to be getting ready to go shutting doors for the winter season, and be cabin fever before you know it. So you might as well get out while you can.
yeah, man. And it's gonna be at the McPherson, a local area with two awesome owners, Katie and
Jason.
Goth.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're super great.
So
Dude.
after this, what's next?
That's a good question.
It's a tough one, right?
I mean, because you
Oh,
got to
man.
think about it, because, Chris, you've been working on this for, like, how long?
Oh, it's been a little while now. I'd say close to 8 months now of just like the hardware. I mean, the concept's been there for a long while, the slow build, but the actual starting to work process
Yeah.
to create it and go in, I would say probably about 8 months now.
We ready to throw that art and music festival after this?
Oh yeah, you know it.
We almost had it before COVID, right?
Yep,
Ooh, really?
Yeah.
We had a big event coming.
yep,
And-
and then it got shut down.
Yep. COVID happened, and then we had a couple people stealing our ideas, and we got death threats.
Yeah,
and
that was
Oh,
crazy.
that's how you know you're making noise, man,
Yeah,
doing something
yeah.
right. When people are mad about it, and you didn't even do it yet.
Yeah,
But
yeah, that
mark
was
my
wild.
words, we're gonna do it.
Yeah.
Bring on the threats, man. But you have to keep going after this event, and it will be successful. It's gonna be something that's gonna be talked about, and that's the best part about us is we don't check it off the list. That's completely pointless for us. We don't check it off the list. We just add it to the roster because that doesn't hit our end goal. We're going to do one, and then we'll do another one, and each one we'll try to do better and better and better. I can't wait for this event to come, enjoy it, and go because we got so much more to do. That's just one more thing. Everything that we do will be just another thing, and we're going to enjoy every bit of it.
Yep.
But never will we just sit and be like, man, that was a great time, and kick our leg up and just
And become complacent.
talk about it.
Become stagnant.
There's a never-ending possibility to what's next.
I know,
And
that's true, dude. Like,
you're
damn,
talking
dude.
about this event, and we're talking about this event right now for the last 20 minutes, but I'm over here like, what's next? What are we going to do next? Because, yeah, we're going to rock that event, but what's next? And we'll keep going and going and going. And as long as you got something to look forward to, that'll keep us going.
Yep.
The second that you don't have any future plans or even excited about the next move, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, no, that's
absolutely.
true. We were like, yeah. Shit.
And they say about a lot of people too. You go into retirement, and that's when people either they find that thing to do in retirement, or God forbid, a lot of times they'll pass early. It's almost like you became stagnant. You weren't doing anything anymore. You chose not to do anything more, and it's like, where does the soul go after that? Like what? And just
I'd like a
nothing to keep it
Lamborghini,
driving.
But I just don't want to die right after
Right.
I get it. So hopefully I get it before I'm in my 70s or whatever,
Yeah, but see, that's what we'll get it like Lamborghinis, and then we'll be like, all right, now that we got these Lamborghinis, we need custom paint jobs. So
Yeah.
next show.
Exactly. Once we get them, man, that's not enough.
Yeah, no, that's true, man. Like the podcast is just the same thing, going. I'm definitely just doing lives now, but I don't just want to focus on the pod, man. I just want to focus on other stuff too.
No, absolutely.
Because this is fun, and it's also like I feel like helpful if it's done right. But I definitely don't just want to be known as just a podcaster, man. Definitely just.
Yeah, no, for sure. Sometimes you get in the middle of one thing, you can find a completely different calling for sure.
Yeah.
And that should be a 100% acceptable thing. People shouldn't be kind of like, being kept in a box scenario. Once you do something and although people enjoy it, doesn't mean you should be stuck doing that either. I mean, there does come a time where you can see when it's kind of like an artist, their first album, when they make it is always amazing because they were hungry. Usually by their third album, it just never hits the same because
Yeah, no.
they don't have that same drive behind it, and sometimes it's better for an artist to not put out that next album than it is for them to put out a bad album.
Yeah, dude. Like with my cans, bro. Like I felt like I was just putting them out. Like some of them were kind of like just kind of looking similar. Like obviously some with designs on the face or whatever, but like I was like, nah, bro. I need to
Kind of got in that rut where you're just too comfy.
Yeah. So I started to take more time. Like, man, let me really make a monster, bro. Like, you kind of like don't want to hold it because it kind of looks weird, you know.
Right.
When I feel like I'm getting too repetitive, I'll throw a curveball in there. This sounds horrible, but dude, sometimes when I'm bored, I'll like wipe off my tattoo stencil just so I can freehand it. I'm like, man, I gotta spice this shit up, man. I'm bored to death. I'm like, man, this tattoo's gonna be too easy. Let me get rid of it. I'm just gonna wing it, because I'm like, I need a challenge. I need to stay hungry, man. That hunger,
Bro,
that ambition, dude. You cannot get comfortable.
Bro, that's
Let me at a call center when those people are trained to say the same shit.
Yeah.
You call them. Hi, welcome to Charter. Their exact thing, and I will throw them off their game. They're like, how are you? And I'm like, well, that's a rhetorical question. How are you? And they're like, this is Sally from Charter. I'm like, yeah, fucked you up, didn't it? Got you out of your rhythm, though. They're going to remember me 8 calls from now because the next 8 people are not going to say that. They're going to say, well, I'm okay, Sherry. How are you doing?
yeah.
No, Sherry, piss off. I'm mad about my service. And I'm mad that you treated me like every phone call. You're so in routine. You're so repetitive that I can't stand it. You're like a robot already, man. And you got to break that. If you're ever comfortable, if you ever got artist block, if you ever are bored, you're not living.
And that's true.
Every day, you got to live. And if you are just so comfortable to where you don't have any plans, you don't have any goals, you don't have shit to do, you're fucking up.
Yeah.
Every day is a gift that you were given when you woke up. And you got to unwrap that thing and fucking play with the toy. Every day.
And also, too, I also feel like I have been taking that for granted, bro. Like, obviously, I'm not in the best spot because of myself, because not taking shit for granted. So, yeah, man. I definitely feel that.
Yeah, no. And everybody gets there, you know what I'm saying? You have your more productive moments and you have your, your low moments, which is, good. You just can't let it stay in that low moment.
Yeah.
I do something weird every time I'm in that mood, and I usually drag poor Chris into it. I'm like, hey, bro, so I bought a 44-foot limousine, so we're going to have to do something with this. He's like, bro, why did you buy a 44-foot limousine? Well, I was just getting a little bored, man, so I emptied the savings account. I called him one day, and I'm like, you're never going to believe this. He's like, what? I bought a bar. And me and him ran the shit out of that bar, man. I mean, we made food critic websites. I mean, we knew nothing about this business, and just that simple core hard wiring that we hold, that pride and passion in everything you do. We put our art in food, in plating, in drinks, in mixology. I didn't even know that was a thing, but we did it.
Yeah.
And the second that you say those deadly words like repetitive and in a rut and that artist block, you're setting yourself up for failure. And if you have to go buy a 44-foot limousine to spice things up a little bit, you better go buy that damn limo, dude, because I will constantly torture Chris in these new endeavors, because if we had a resume right now, I mean, it would be down the hallway, up the stairs, because it's all adventures. It's all a part of a story. And if your life's not a movie, what are you doing?
That's true.
And never will we stop these adventures, man. We're talking about this next dope event that nobody's ever heard of doing something like this. But at the moment, we never heard of opening up like a art-inspired restaurant, which is still open in Beloit. And whatever it is, whatever challenge that becomes abrupt, all you have to do is give it 110. Even on your bad days. Even when you're in a rut. Even when you feel like you're too routine. Spice it up, man. 110%. You'll figure it out. Fake it till you make it. Whatever you got to do. We were flipping burgers like we worked at Mickey D's, man, and neither one of us worked at Mickey D's, but we were flipping the shit out of those burgers, man, just like we flip the shit out of these canvases, just like we're going to rock this event, just like we do whatever it is that we do. Because you can't allow yourself to not give it 110%. I lost some things that still haunt me from losing. And I had to stop tattooing not that long ago from health issues. And I have like nightmares about that. I'm like, man, that was like taking my kid. But when they did, I had other shit to do. I found other things to do. If you ever can't do something because of things out of your control, there's always something to do. Yeah. I see people that don't want to work because they can't work the job that they want. Well, you know what? It's a big world, and there's something else that you want. You can't just be fascinated or fixated on one thing because there's so much more out there.
Yeah.
And that goes for somebody that's fighting like depression or anxiety, or they have some disease that won't allow them to do something specific. All right, man. Maybe it's not in your control, but something is in your control. And you can do that. Whatever it is that you're able to do, you got to find a love for that. If you don't, keep trying other shit till you find something you do like.
Yeah. It's that same don't give up mentality. And you can't be stagnant. You just can't be. You can't allow yourself to be.
You ever remember when you were kids and everybody just wanted you to do the same shit? What are you going to do when you're older? Well, I'm going to go be a police officer. I'm going to be a firefighter. I never answered that question.
Same here, bro. I
Never.
didn't.
Like, you didn't have an answer for him, right? Because
Yeah.
you're like, well,
Until I was like 25, 26.
I'm sorry, I'm fucking 11 and I don't know if I want to be a cop.
I know, right?
My bad. Maybe I'll be a cop for a week, you know? Let me try it out. They got cool toys.
Yeah.
You know? But, dude, I don't think that I'm committed for the rest of my life to be a cop. Like, I got other shit to do. And if this guy's a firefighter and this guy's a stripper, maybe I want to go be a stripper. Let me try that for a minute. And then after that, I'll be a cop. Maybe I'll bring the outfit and everything, you know? Dude, you got to just keep trying shit. You got so many avenues. People are making money from the weirdest shit nowadays.
Yeah. Like
I
weird,
seen some
bro.
shit overseas, man. I'm still a little messed
really?
up over it.
Oh shit!
It's been like 4 days since I seen some crazy shit. But
I mean, yeah, bro. I mean, I'm a YouTuber, bro. So I've seen some weird
shit.
Yeah, bathwater, farts.
Dude, I went to a place called
Fans only.
Banana Bar in Amsterdam. I can't tell the stories live.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
But dog, it was like a strip club, and what the girls were doing and having fun doing was out of this world that I never seen before.
I bet, bro.
And I'm like a strip club enthusiast.
Aficionado.
Yeah, you know, I like to explore that avenue, and I seen some shit.
No, I bet.
And
bro,
you know
like,
what? That's what they do. You know, that girl and what she did to that banana went home and had to live with that. You know, and some people make money on YouTube. Some people are firemen, and some people do that with bananas.
Yeah.
And there's no right or wrong.
Yeah.
I don't know when she decided. She was 11 years old, and somebody was like, what do you want to do for a living? And she said that. I have no idea. But I didn't have an answer when I was 11 when they said, this is career day. What do you want to do? I want to do it all. Well, you can't. Everybody will tell you can't. You can't. And you'll tell yourself, you can't. Fuck that. Start getting that out of your vocabulary. I can't. When I think about changing shit up, and I say, well, I can't. I got to hold this down. And every time I say that out loud, I'm hoping one of my friends goes, no. Stop saying I can't. Because every time you say that, you're limiting your options. And there's no such thing.
But I think a lot of people don't understand, like, everybody thinks success is superstardom in whatever you do, and that's really not the case. There's so many levels of being successful in the things that you do. You don't have to become a mega star in that field to have accomplished that field. You know, like I love that, like Mike, like you said, our resumes are insane, and they're not all just art related, but some of the things that are, you know, on there are things that I'd carry with pride of being like, you know, I can say that everything, because I was kind of the same way when I was young. I didn't ever have an answer for what I wanted to be. So it was always something different all the time because I always wanted to do all of these things.
Yeah.
And I can say that I have put my foot far enough into everything that I've ever wanted to do for me to be able to determine if that's something I wanted to continue to do.
Yeah.
You know, I never gave up on something out of, all right, well, I'm not good enough, or I suck at it, or, you know, something else has stopped me. It was because, okay, that was awesome. I feel good with what I did with it, or I like doing it, but I realize I have a bigger passion for this. This is what I really want to be doing. But it took me accomplishing a certain goal in this field to understand or realize that this over here is what it was I wanted to do more.
Definitely find out some shit you don't want to do.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I know some things I really don't ever want to do again.
Oh man.
Sometimes that's just as important as finding things that you like is finding things you don't like.
Yeah.
Yep.
That. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Cause for sure, I never want to serve food. Dude, like, cause I used to work in commerce. I was a stock boy, so customer service, helping people, bro. Just like work, just doing that, helping people find shit, and then like dealing with people that like are so rude for no
Man,
reason.
customer
Oh, my
service
God.
is rough
Yeah.
right now, man, and it's not getting any better.
Bro, and I could just imagine food. You didn't cook this
Man.
right.
10 out of
Bro,
10.
like,
not
I don't know if I
recommend.
ever telling you, but like when we were out at the bar all the time and everything, you know, we had really high end steaks for a while, and I had this lady chew me up and down for bringing high end steaks to Beloit, and like cussed me out for it for like 20 minutes, and then ordered a steak to go.
Does that not blow your mind that people will try to regulate your potential
Yeah.
as your own individual? I think that you should be here.
Yeah.
What in the hell you think I should be where you want me to be? Because of my demographic around me? Because of my culture? Because of where I live? What? What makes you think that I should do what you want me to do?
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
You want me to serve this kind of food? And we fought that. We ended up giving in a little bit just to try to make ends meet on, no pun intended there, just to try to keep them doors open. But man, nobody was for it. Everybody was like, you have to do it like this. And the
Yeah.
whole point of us doing anything is we do it how we want to do it. You either got to roll with it or not. And you may not notice that you even enjoy something that's different because you're so in tune with what you know. But that's an artist's job. That's why artists are the most important influence in everything.
Yeah,
you know,
it's to challenge the norms.
people, when the COVID happened and they started dictating who was essential and who wasn't, and
Oh man.
that's a rough subject right there.
Yeah.
Let's bring it, dude, because that's what we're here for. I was
artists
deemed
were-
non-essential.
Yeah.
And they were like, yo, you are not important enough to work. Go home. And all my people that were working were like, man, this sucks. I have to work. And I'm like, yeah, that does suck. But, you know, you got a quadruple timed raise for working. Yes, you're at risk, but so am I. And I can't pay my rent because I'm not important enough to work. So, like, I get both sides. But, dog, I need them to know that I'm important.
I feel like artists are important, bro.
Just how important is
Well, especially
an artist's
in times
mindset?
especially in times of darkness and and bleak, they become more important because they're the only outside light to everything that's going on. They're the peace of mind people can have. They're the break to the constant negativity that you are, you know, spoon fed at the time, even not even necessarily on purpose, just, you know, just due to how times can be during rough times like that. That's when they become, in my opinion, more essential than ever.
Without imagination or creativity or somebody that can have a vision of how to even go about something, nothing would exist. You know, somebody had to come up with the design of this microphone. Okay, yeah, an engineer, you know, made the schematics, you know, the factories produced it, yada, 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 but an artist, somebody with a mindset, a design, a visionary, had to come up with a visual representation of this. And without that, you wouldn't have it. So exactly how is the art not one of the single most important aspects of everything that you have in your day-to-day life? Everything, every house was drawn on a schematic, a blueprint. You know, you take a contractor, you know, and they're going to be able to build it, but can they imagine it?
Yeah.
Do they know the difference between the color palette and how this is going to lay out with the roundness of the cupboard there and yada, yada, yada? No, but they can build it. It takes both of us to do that. But that guy's essential. We're not. Hold on here.
That shit's fucked up, dude.
And without art, this world would not revolve, man. Some of those ruts or those deep days that people have, and those people listen to music, let's say. That's the only reason they got out of bed that day. That person that needed that art influence to get out of bed is the same person that was essential, that had to go out and give, you know, vaccines or healthcare or whatever. Without us, you wouldn't have got them. You know, it has so much more influence than even I realized, because dark secret here, I didn't do well in art class in high school. Not because I couldn't draw my ass off, not because I wasn't a great artist. I was a phenomenal artist for no reason. Thankfully, that was a talent that I developed early. But I never went to the class. I'm like, man, I'm already good at this shit. I don't really need to know. That was like my Spanish-speaking friends that are taking Spanish 3. I'm like, you guys are fucking assholes. They're like, I'm just here for the easy A. I'm like, I get it, dude.
Dude, that would blow my mind when my Spanish friends would take Spanish and fail. Like, what?
And they fail. And you're like, bro, this is your easy A.
Yeah, and then the art too, bro. Like, I did beginner's art, and like, I was kind of decent or creative enough to like do well. But the thing is, I was always lazy. Like, oh, I'll do it the last day, and then the last day, I had half of it.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh,
like, wait, what is this? I didn't never seen this shit before.
It's still within the sketch process.
I never showed art the respect that it deserved until I became a professional artist. And I've been a professional artist now for like 13, 14, almost 15 years. Okay. And like, I'm a professional. I support my family. I buy the clothes that I wear through my art. I'm a professional. That's what I do. This is not a joke. This is not a hobby. I'm a professional artist. We are professional artists. Everything around us revolves around this profession. And I never showed it the respect that it deserved. And I regret that every day of my professional career. Because if I would have just took it a little bit more serious and understood that that was what I wanted to do, and I had a talent and a calling for it, I could be 30 more steps ahead. So I'm really kicking my ass over that, dude. And just how I talked about how important the art was. Look around. I mean, you're looking at a light switch. Check that shit out. That's a dope light switch. Somebody put their art in that, you know? And you know what? When you look around, you take all that for granted. And I'm a professional artist, and I did all the way up until I was a professional artist. I did not appreciate, you know, the design and the craft and the marksmanship that everything has in it until I started doing it. Like, you gained that respect when you started realizing how difficult it was. Like, when you started this podcast and you seen other people do it, after you, like, started doing it and you were like, man, that was way more difficult than I thought, you built more respect for that, right? Like, you're like, shit, dude, I thought that was easy, but it was not.
Well, I gave more respect to interviewers, because I was like, oh, bro, anybody can do that fucking shit, bro. It should pay me that, bro. I'll interview anybody.
I'll ask people questions.
Yeah, you know. And then when people started coming on and more, I'm like, bro, I'm doing the same thing. I feel like the question, some people can't answer the same question the same.
Right.
I can ask Chris how you started art. It's not gonna be the same way you what you say, you know. So with that, I was just like, damn, bro, I gotta give respect to interviewers.
Yeah,
it's not easy.
Yeah, no, I can believe it.
You ever feel like the better you get at something, the harder it gets?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because you start learning all the technical everything to make. Because then at that point you're like, okay, I really know what I want this to be now.
Yeah.
So to get there, you're like, oh man, there's a lot of moving parts to this that I wasn't expecting.
And they feed you that bullshit line like practice makes perfect hold on here.
Yeah.
I've been practicing this perfectly.
And I
and it
still
just
need
gets-
I still need a next step.
Yeah.
The level where perfect was is now up here, man. So, you know, I'm still practicing. And then when I get there, the damn thing's on top of a mountain now.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, dude.
Or like riding a bike. Have you ever tried to ride a bike in your adult age? I just rode a bike trying to practice for Tour de France over there. And I don't know how to ride a bike. I almost crashed. I almost died. And you guys would have had my obituary here instead of me personally, a little cardboard cutout, because I almost didn't make it. Because them people are serious about their bikes over there. Holy shit. Life, it's like riding a bike. You never forget it. Bullshit.
Yeah.
Try riding a bike in your 30s, man.
Nah,
Holy shit.
I used to ride a bike. It's just now, bro, my fucking chicken legs won't last more than 5 minutes, bro.
I
Like
used to ride the shit out of bikes, man.
Yo.
For miles. You'd
Yeah,
tell your
yeah.
parent you were at like your friend's house down the street. Dude, I was in Rockford. You know, you're coming from Beloit, like, yeah, I'm down the street, man.
I remember
I'll be back
too
by dinner.
when I was a kid, man. I used to ride my bike and I'd be riding it fast, like going, crossing roads, jumping the
Hitting
curb,
ramps,
everything.
yeah.
Now if I ride a bike, dude, I'm slowing down to like check both ways and shit. I'm like, man, how the hell did I go so fast from when I was like, nah, I'm not gonna go that damn fast.
I need training wheels back on. There's
Oh,
an arrow.
every time
I'm both.
Every time I take off, I got to do one of these deals before I get straight.
Oh, man.
And nothing to make you remind you that how vertically challenged you are, like a rental bicycle. You know, the one size fits all. Man, I had to hop, skip, and I had to get a running start. I had to grab the handlebars and give it like a little scoot before I could even Spider-Man jump on top of that thing because the seat was so damn high. And everybody over there is like, I think the average height over there is like 6'2".
Holy shit.
So, you know, a little under par over here, man. So I just couldn't get my little ass on that bike. When I got on it, I thought I was Superman, dude. And then you start going so fast, but you also can't reach the ground when you're on it.
Yeah.
You know, because getting on it and going, I thought was the difficult part. And then I realized stopping was the difficult part in front of oncoming traffic. And throw a bunch of sexy Dutch women in the mix, and then you're like trying to play it off cool, you know, and you kind of like give the hey, and then you realize you got one hand to ride this bike that you can't ride with two hands, and then you flip it in front of them, and you're like, that did not work. And it's not like the movies where, you know, everybody runs up, you know, you got that sun in your eye and you kind of blink and then it's like true love at first sight shit. No, people are like, ha ha ha, that dumbass
Right?
American
Right.
spent 45 euros to rent this bike. You can't even touch the ground, little short ass. I bet you everybody in America's like that. Ha ha ha. Or whatever they said in Dutch.
Whatever they
and
said in Dutch.
I'm just over here like I can't understand it, and the only words I can say is nice butt in Dutch. So everybody's laughing at me pointing. I'm like, nice butt, haha, mooie a cunt.
Oh, man, dude.
And yeah, man, this is an experience. But life lesson on that: life is not what they always explain it to be.
Yeah.
In your adult life, from your childhood life, or wherever, life is not like riding a bike. You do forget some of that shit, and it's okay to forget some of that, because the adventure I had a week ago trying to ride a bicycle for the first time in you know, almost 20 years, I would not take that back, man. I tried to ride a scooter. That was interesting. I haven't rode one of those in 20 years, you know, and I'm like now reaching for things that I used to do 20 years ago, because maybe there's some more shit that I would enjoy now as an adult. I want to go get on a merry-go-round or something, man, just to see what it's like as an adult, you know?
Yeah.
And it keeps it exciting, keeps it youthful, and it humbles you. It reminds you of things, of perspective.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
One thing though, shit, like the roller coasters, I experienced that once. I'm good on experiencing that ever again, bro.
Tried it, hated it, done.
Yeah. Oh my god, dude. Like my heart literally went, like when you went down, like my heart like, went backwards or something, bro. I feel that shit, bro. I don't know how people love that.
So in Wisconsin, you seen that one not too long ago. It got held upside down, and they said they were stuck in that up and down vertical position for
like hours.
45. I think it was like 45 minutes or an hour and 45 minutes. I can't remember what it was. And of course, I went to like the same theme park like a month later because I'm like, man, you know, people almost died here. I gotta try it. And dude, I could not imagine. I got like an inversion table that I go upside down sometimes, and I like 3 seconds, and I'm like, hey, man, I think I died. Could you imagine just sitting there, you know? And you don't know if it's gonna release, dude. I feel so bad for those people.
Dude, yeah. 'Cause if those people saw Final Destination 2
Everybody saw
yeah,
Final
yeah.
Destination, and that's why we can't do half the stuff in our life because we're so traumatized. When I'm on the highway and I see those logs in front of me, I'm not driving behind it.
Yeah, I get in the other
any
lane.
second.
Actually,
bro.
I'll just pull over. Like wherever I'm going, it could be an emergency. Hey, man, we're gonna have to wait. We're gonna have to wait a minute.
Yeah, for me, bro, any semi, I'm always like cautious, bro. And I've seen log trucks, bro. Those get me paranoid.
And nobody's behind it because everybody's seen that movie, and they got a new one coming out, and I think it's about a cruise ship.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
So, you know, I'm going to go on a cruise right after. And so in Florida, they did this weird thing just to fuck with people. They watched the original Jaws. You remember how cheesy the movies were?
Yeah.
It works perfect on a projector because you don't need good like graphics,
Yeah.
you know. And we're just so fascinated by the 4Ks and all that shit
Right.
that you don't even watch the movie. You just kind of watch
the visual.
the effects.
Yeah.
Well, those old school movies, you know, you don't have that. So you really got to get into the storyline and
Yeah.
everything. So these guys in Florida they rent out inner tubes and they rope off a little spot in like the canal of the ocean. And you can sit on inner tubes and watch Jaws on the projector.
Oh hell no.
Yeah, that'd be creepy as fuck.
You're
bro.
watching Jaws in the ocean, by the way, and you're into the storyline, so you kind of just forget that your feet are in the water, you know, where Jaws is. And it stimulates all of your senses, man. I don't know if you've been to Disney or anything, or like those 5D movie theaters where it's like if the effects were fire and they actually have like heat lamps, you know, to hit that like sensory overload for you where you can feel it. You really get into that story.
Yeah, isn't there like one at Jaws?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I've been one on a boat, bro, and like it's like Jaws, where like the actual like machine pops up, bro. I was next to it, bro. That scared me, bro.
It makes it real, and stuff like roller coasters and stuff like that. That's that closest moment you get to hitting all of your senses, and that makes you feel alive, man. So kind of like getting tattooed, man. That's that sensory kind of feeling that I talk about, that I get to give that to people as a therapy. That's why the shop's called Ink Therapy. That's the name of the shop, Ink Therapy, because you're experiencing something so good that you actually pay for that, you know, just like a roller coaster. Yeah. People, unfortunately, don't have good experiences on roller coasters sometimes, but literally most people are paying to feel that near-death situation, feel that adrenaline rush. People will pay you to go sit in the ocean and watch how people die from getting ate by sharks while they're potentially getting bit by a shark.
Yeah.
But that feeling you get, like a motorcycle ride, you know, that rush, you can't beat it, man.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, no, I definitely, I'm one of those people where like I'll try everything once, but there's definitely some of those things where I'm like good after the first run.
I don't really like heights. And knowing that I don't like heights, I will try to pick the highest thing that I could get on. And I'm like, this is a horrible idea. I'm going to have a bad time. I have to try it. I got to do it. I will do things. I'm more prone to doing something that I know I'm not supposed to do just because I want to feel that adrenaline. Mm-hmm. And I'm not much of an adrenaline junkie, especially the older I get. I'm like, man, I'm probably going to break a hip. You know, but I got to try it.
Yeah, but the highest places you can go, bro.
Amsterdam.
Oh, really?
Dude,
You hit one of those cafes. Yep.
Yeah, the highest you want to go in the world, Amsterdam.
No, I thought like I was gonna say Willis Tower, but I forgot the new name.
Oh, I know what you're talking. I don't know what the name of it is.
Chicago or New York, that one tower, bro. Like
Freedom Tower or something.
Yeah, dude.
That's the one they're doing.
Dude, I got up in
now.
the Eiffel Tower the other day.
Yeah. I
And
seen
nobody
that.
told me you could go inside of it. I thought you just walk and look at it. No,
Yeah.
it's like a hotel. Like it's weird. I got restaurants and shit up in there and everything.
Oh damn, I didn't realize that.
Oh,
yeah,
I thought it was just like an elevator that took you
No.
up to a level,
dude,
and then you
elevator
could look
goes
like.
up and over
like
and up
view.
and over.
Yeah.
It's got 2 levels of bars, nightclubs.
Oh damn!
Yeah, you can. Now they have glass floors, by the way, in the Eiffel Tower. So when
Oh,
you're up in the
that-
Eiffel Tower, you can actually look down and have a heart attack. So that's a part of the package. You got to pay extra for the heart attack package. And when you're up there, dude, and you know that thing moves with the wind. You know, it kind of sways a little bit. And I have no idea why anybody thought that was a good idea. But nowhere in me was like, I'm not going to pay the extra money to go in this Eiffel Tower. The fuck? I'm here. I need to get up there. Yeah, this is a once in a lifetime thing, but you know it's a horrible idea.
Yeah, dude.
But you have to
But
do
you
it,
gotta do
man.
it,
You
yeah.
gotta try it, and I'm so glad I did, man, because you can lean over the edge of that place, and some of those towers are way bigger than that. I could not imagine being
Yeah.
outside on the 120th floor, because I was halfway up the Eiffel Tower, and I'm looking over the edge, and I'm like, dude, my legs got woozy. You know, like you're looking down, and you're like, dude, this is it.
Dude,
And I was perfectly safe. I was behind the railing and everything. And I'm like, this is it. This is my last day. I got to do a Facebook Live and tell everybody bye. And all I'm doing is looking over the edge, and I felt my soul leave my body. I'm like, well, I was supposed to go to Paris, and this is my ending here.
yeah, dude.
I had a good life. It's, you know, nothing like going out on the Eiffel Tower. And I was behind the guardrail, but my
This will
soul
be-
was gone.
This will be talked about for a long
Yeah,
time.
this is it.
Oh my god. Yeah.
The end of the days.
I forgot what the one in New York, the tall one, bro. When I went with my girl and her family, when we got to the top, I felt like I was gonna fall. I was
Yeah.
like in there,
Yeah.
like the height was like I could feel the building move side to side, bro.
Yeah.
I was like, I need to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, man. I mean, that feeling, though.
Yeah, that feeling.
And I keep
yeah.
bringing that back. That feeling, though, that's you got to pay money for that feeling, man.
Yeah,
That alive feeling.
because it's kind of hard to get, just not doing anything.
Well, the older I get, I mean, I feel like if I step off the curb, I feel like that almost be a death situation. Now I'm like, shit, that was a close one.
Dude, yeah, man. Oh, yeah. But guys, I don't want to keep you up much any longer because we are about to hit 2 hours.
Damn.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was fast.
I know, yeah, dude.
Well, yeah, I want to shout out Ink Therapy,
Yeah.
West Side Smokes, and then of course our Diamond exclusive sponsors, Vibe Smoke Shop and
That we're in
Vibes
front of right
Arcade.
now.
Yep, they're all those guys are sponsoring the Hensons Ball. So I
Yeah,
wanna give those
definitely
guys a
shout out, man.
for sure.
Yeah, because they're dope people, man, for real.
Absolutely.
And October 14th, guys, use A to Z
MB.
HMB 23 for $5 off.
Be there,
Definitely.
be square.
Yeah.
And I'm definitely going to win the biggest award.
I feel a biased opinion coming from the judge here. It's like a tattoo convention all over again.